Hey everybody, welcome back to the Court of Random Opinion. My name is Laura Neidigh. We have a quick update in the Laura Owens, God, I guess you would call it Chronicles. Like, what else do you call it at this point? Laura Owens is a con artist out of Arizona. Her cases became pretty publicly known when she targeted the Bachelor former lead Clayton Echard with a fake twin pregnancy and dragged him to family court. Turns out she's done this to a bunch of men over the span of like 10 years, and she's apparently done all kinds of things to scam people. She was recently indicted on 7 felony charges and now faces a criminal trial in Arizona. After losing her case to Clayton Echard, there was the whole question of how is she going to pay this man back? And it doesn't seem like she really intends to. Then, of course, there's the question of how are they paying for the criminal trial lawyer? And there's been some suspicion around a GoFundMe set up by the family for Ron, the father's medical bills. The family was recently hit with a lawsuit by Chase Bank, not to be confused with Chase J. Jones, because the family has not been paying their debt. And by all accounts, it's hard to have too much sympathy because the family seems to have enabled and assisted in her crimes against these men. The Owens family has now declared bankruptcy and apparently has about $2.3 million in debt. It's almost like fake babies are more expensive than real ones, but then again, I don't know how much HCG goes for on the black market. But if you're having to buy HCG off the black market, maybe you should just go to jail. I'm not going to show these whole documents on the screen because they're not redacted. These are public court documents, public information. No doubt Laura Owens and her family are going to come on here and report me for cyberbullying again. But unfortunately for the Owens family, they're not more important than the public interest and the public access to documents. We'll take a quick look at some of this stuff, and then, like I did last time, I'm going to have someone much smarter than me with finances come and explain this to you later. But like I said, their total liabilities, you can see right here, are $2.3 million. How do you have $2.3 million in debt and you keep buying horses? Here they've listed their income as $21,000 a month, with expenses of $6,600 a month. Like I said, this is not redacted, so I can't show everything on the screen, but I'm looking right now at the property value, which they've valued at $1.5 million. They say that the portion that they own is worth $750,000, and then of course they've noted here that Sarah, their daughter, and her husband Christian Navarro are also on the title. They've listed their 7 horses here retired at $1,000. How are you valuing 7 horses at a total of $1,000? Somebody's going to have to help me with that one. Given the large GoFundMe that you guys have going, I would say your medical and dental expenses should probably be more than $150 a month. Like, how is your horse insurance bigger than your medical bills? This doesn't make any sense. Some of this makes no sense, dude. There's no way this is accurate. They've got all their debts listed on here, but there's like 4 digits of account numbers and stuff on here, so I'm not going to show that until I can redact it. Or someone else will, because let's face it, I'm not going to do that. One of the biggest ones on here is $50,000 in debt to American Express. There's 2 different accounts with Bank of America that total up to like $39,000, almost $40,000. Oh my god, there's more accounts with Bank of America. What the fuck? Yeah, there's so many Bank of America accounts on here. I can't tally that right now. And they've got net credit on here. They've got Affirm on here, I think. These people were really just using any line of credit they could. What the fuck? It seems pretty clear from all of this that Laura Owens has never had to deal with a no in her life, but all this debt is finally catching up to this family. And honestly, it's hard for me to feel bad for them. I don't think I do. Not after they forced Clayton and Greg and Mike and who knows who else into shelling out so much money for lawyers' fees. She does this to hold people hostage, like ruin yourself financially, or I'll get a restraining order against you that'll show up on background checks for God knows how long. And this doesn't even include Laura's debts, to my knowledge. I don't see Laura's name anywhere on here. This is just the parents. So we know that she lives on their property and largely depends on them, if not entirely. All right, guys, that's all I got for now. Like I said, I'll have someone else come back with me later to explain this in a way that makes more sense. I'm bad enough in my own finances, so I don't need to really try to interpret other people's too much. I'll see you later.